Okay, everybody, so I'm here at the airport and my flight got delayed, so I had to end up eating a pizza, which is bad. I didn't want to do that. I'm trying to, do better. I'm trying to do better. That's the word. I'm here today to talk a little bit about culture, right? Because I've been teaching a lot, traveling a lot, and I had experiences training with Brazilians and training with Americans. And that made me grow a lot as a person. So we're talking about Jiu Jitsu, right? And there are something that the instructors need to understand a little bit. I tell my Brazilian friends who are instructors, I say, ma'am, you cannot teach Americans the same way you teach Brazilians, because there are two different kinds of people. Americans are usually more methodic, right? Like when you see some Americans competing, the way they train and compete, the way they learn is that one, two, three, four. Let's say if you're trying to teach a technique for American, they want to hear from you the one, two, three, four, right? So they want to understand exactly how it's gonna work. Like you make this grip and then you do that, and you're gonna end up over there. So you're gonna teach them this, and they're gonna drill that for hours and hours and hours, months and years, and they're gonna get good at it, right? So what happens, I think, that's kind of bad. I mean, it's good and bad, right? Both cultures. The Brazilians are bad a little bit because the lack of the discipline, but at the same time, it's kind of bad to be so focused on just one thing, like closed mind a little bit. And I'm gonna try to explain you that today. I see that Americans, they're gonna train one, two, three, four. They're gonna practice that. They're gonna get good at it, and then they're gonna try that forever. And if something goes wrong, or if the scenario is not the same, they're gonna keep trying it. They're gonna keep trying the same thing over and over and over. I think that's because of the culture. Because like a kid goes to preschool, school, high school, college, right, and then they're gonna eventually get a job and work for 30 years, retire, right, and die. So that means the system that you have for school, for your career, usually works here in America, right? So you don't have to do much besides what people are telling you to do. You just have to follow the rules, and you're eventually gonna get somewhere. So that's the culture. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm saying that most people in America live like that. And when you go back to Brazil, when I think back in the day, I noticed that like if you do everything right in Brazil, you're gonna mess up. You're not gonna get in college if you don't have the money to do it. You're not gonna find a good job because even though you can have the best college, but you still cannot. You're still not gonna get a job if you don't know the person to put you there. So in Brazil, we learn how to improvise a little more. If you watch like soccer, capoeira, jiu-jitsu, like Brazilian sports, there are a lot of improvised situations. You have to improvise. Stuff are not gonna be, the situations are not gonna be one, two, three, four. Even though it's great to have a system, sometimes it's good to do 1, 4, 2, and 3. So what I'm trying to say with that is that I think when you're learning jiu-jitsu, I think you should try to understand the concept and not just the techniques and the sequences. I think you should learn the concepts, because if you understand the concepts behind the technique, you're gonna be able to do 1, 4, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 4, and over, and do the loop and do whatever, because you understand what you're doing. So when you watch guys like, let's say Keenan, right? He's American, like Jamil. They're both Americans, but they will say, let's say Keenan, for example, like he will say that he can write down all the techniques and all jiu-jitsu and everything, and he's great at it, right? Like his jiu-jitsu, you can see it's mostly techniques, right? And even though he's saying that, oh, we can write down everything, he's still out there trying new stuff. You know, he's still out there trying to get a better grip, a stronger leverage, or a better technique, a better angle to attack. And he's still studying a lot and doing and trying stuff, you know. So even though he's saying that there are a system for everything, he's still trying new stuff. He's still improvising, you know. And that what makes him one of the best, right? And Jamil and Musa Messi, these people, even though they grew up in this culture, they still can improvise for some reason. So my advice for you guys is like when you get in the gym, when you put your gi on, try not to control everything, because in life we don't control everything, you know. So when you show up in the gym, try to have the mindset of, man, I'm here to make mistakes. You know, I'm here to mess up. I'm here to do wrong stuff. And then if I messed up, I tap and start over. And I have a new opportunity to do better, you know. Sometimes I think people, not just Americans, everybody, but I think we kind of want to control everything. And because of that, we don't get better. Because we get in the gym and, oh my God, I want to win. And if I don't win, I don't want to lose. You know, like I either want to win or not lose, but I don't want to try. So because of your fear of losing, you end up not learning, not getting better, and not having the progress that you can have because you're not trying stuff, you know. So I always tell people that, man, jiu-jitsu is the 2 hours that you have in your day where you can make all mistakes that you want. And you're going to get used to making mistakes. Waking up, shaking somebody's hand and saying thank you. Tomorrow I'll be better. And by doing that over and over and over for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, you're gonna start approaching life like that. So in your job, when something is different, when something is hard, or when you're in a situation where you have to make a decision, you're not gonna be afraid. Because you know if you make a mistake, you can fix it. And if you cannot fix it, that's cool. You learn with the experience, you know. So that's what I kind of see on my seminars, because sometimes people want exact answers. They're like, man, okay, so what do you do here? And then I tell them, man, I don't know. I don't know, even though I can give you options or I can give you one answer. At the end of the day, you have to make the decision. And you have 1,000 different scenarios for this specific situation or technique or mental or physical or emotional or technical, you know. So you have a lot of stuff going on in your head when you're training. And when you go for the tournaments and competitions, it's even harder, you know. So a lot of times I don't have an answer to give people. I say, man, I don't know that. It's on you. You have to ask yourself that. And that for a lot of people is frustrating. So they get a little frustrated. They say, man, I'm here, I'm paying you to give me answers, and you say that you don't know. And I say, yeah, man, because you cannot pay somebody to fix your life, you know. Even though they can give you the knowledge, you have to apply. You are the one who have to apply, you know. So I don't know if that video makes sense for you, but when I tell people that, they kind of, oh my God, you know. I'm being that person. I got in the gym, I put my gi on, and then I don't want to lose. But why? Why are you paying $200 a month to train jiu-jitsu if you don't want to try anything, if you don't want to lose? What you want to do with jiu-jitsu? Do you think you're ever going to know everything? No. You know, so winning in tournaments or on the gym is nothing, man. You want to open your mind to the opportunities that you have in your life. And you don't take it because you're so afraid to lose, you know. And that's when I see the Keenans, the Jamils, the Musso Messis, you know, the Roberto Jimenez, you know, they are trying stuff. Of course, there are a lot of Brazilians trying to do that too, but Brazilians kind of have to do. You know, we're hungry. We have to learn the language. We have to come here. You know, we have to do all that, and we don't have options. But when I see people who have options doing that, I say, man, that's beautiful. You know, it's beautiful for everybody. Everybody have, you know, stories, you know, but I don't know if that makes sense. You know, I'm just here at the airport eating a little bit, waiting for my flight, and I decided to make this little video here to talk a little bit about mindset, you know, talk a little bit about approach, the way we approach life. And I think that might be useful for somebody. I see you guys on the next video, and I'm happy to be here, man, doing English stuff. Wuss.